Alright, YouTube, it's time to talk about Harry Potter. Now, the last time I brought this up at all was to point out that J.K. Rowling had to have had at least a cursory understanding of certain Renaissance-era grimoires and Enlightenment-era sort of occult materials. Now, though, increasingly there's a problem within Harry Potterdom regarding the character Hermione Granger, of course, portrayed by Emma Watson on the silver screen prior, but now there's a different actress who's going to be portraying Hermione in The Cursed Child, the new Harry Potter work that's coming out, and she happens to be black. Now, my first thought is, of course, this is a fictional character. I don't really give a fuck what race is portrayed here. I just don't care. It's a fictional character. This is not a non-fiction work where it's describing historical events. You know, you'd think, oh, let's cast a black General Patton or a white Martin Luther King or, you know, an Asian Obama or something like that, where it just doesn't work out. If it's a fictional character, it's different. But I think J.K. Rowling has stepped in it now because she's insinuating that all of those who are slightly miffed about the casting are being racist. I think it has more to do with the fact that for the last 7 movies that were released, which people grew accustomed to those specific characters being portrayed in a certain way by certain people, Hermione Granger was white in those. Emma Watson is white in those movies. I think it has more to do with the fact that a person who doesn't look anything like the actress who originally portrayed this character is being cast. I think perhaps they should have looked around for someone who looked more like Emma Watson, specifically because it's not like in the book where, yes, again, it's a fictional story. You can sort of just imagine the way that the characters look. On screen with actual actors and actresses, that's not the case. You're actually getting a visual image of who's portraying each character. It would be like casting, somebody who's black to be Harry Potter. Well, no, the traditional Daniel Radcliffe is also white. Or casting the Weasleys as being like deeply tanned Indian individuals or something like that. Or casting, again, what if you were to take Roots and give it an all-white cast? Well, people naturally would say, what the fuck is this about? Now, Hermione Granger, even in the books, even in the fictional treatise, is depicted as white as well. J.K. Rowling has apparently forgotten that at several points in several of these stories, Hermione is listed as having features that are distinguishably white. That is, for instance, when she's looking out behind one of these trees at Harry Potter, of course, she's gone pale. I'm going to assume that this is a fixture of light-colored skin, that if you're white as a ghost, you probably didn't start out being black unless you accidentally fell in a vat full of bleach or something. Even the cover art, if you look at the covers of the original books, I happen to have all 7 of them, Hermione Granger there is also depicted as a white individual. Now, interestingly enough, of course, J.K. Rowling was involved with the process of making the selection for the cover art. Obviously, at the time, she had no problem with the fact that Hermione, as a British individual, was being depicted as an ethnic British individual. So was Harry Potter. The Weasleys, I guess, are kind of like, I don't know, Irish-infused or something like that. It has nothing to do with the actual race. It has to do with the depiction of that character being coinciding with the actress who's already played the role. Again, if you were to just switch it around greatly, let's imagine a scenario in which another white actress is chosen who nonetheless looks absolutely nothing like Emma Watson whatsoever. People would have the same reaction. And it will be the same whenever a change is made. There are going to be people who are miffed about that because they either really, really liked that particular character being depicted by a certain person, because it just doesn't look similar enough, it's kind of jarring to them, it's not what they're used to or whatever. I think we've got to make the differentiation between a scenario in which the character is being depicted visually, as in a movie, and when the character is merely being described, the reader can ultimately make up their own mind about how that character should or should not look, like in the books. So even if J.K. Rowling made no allusions whatsoever to the race of this particular individual, which isn't even true, naturally, if you have someone playing that character for 7 fucking movies, and then you completely do a 180 on the way that character looks, it's going to strike people as odd. You would think of a Japanese Albus Dumbledore or something like that. Well, people are going to say, what exactly is going on here? They should choose someone who looks a little bit more like who first depicted them. They had a problem with that even in the first 7 movies, when the dude playing Dumbledore fucking keeled over and they had to get Gandalf involved. And so now, of course, Gandalf and Albus Dumbledore are one and the same, which could be an ironic, very strange crossover script if somebody was making some fanfic that drew the two together. But no, it has nothing to do with racism. It has to do with the person depicting the characters completely different. I don't personally care because I don't have any will to see the movie. I always thought the books were excellent. I was a big fan of Harry Potter as far as the books went. When I went to see the first movie, I thought it was terrible. I thought they cut out so much from the original book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It was almost unwatchable. Yes, it was interesting to see it depicted in a movie. And at the time, of course, the special effects were stellar. You know, not necessarily quite so much now, but, you know, still pretty good. And over time, the movies did get better. I think they listened to some of the fan criticism of, you know, this isn't anything like the book. By the third movie, they did find their footing and things got a lot better. Goblet of Fire was excellent too, and I think they did a much better job thereafter. But no, it's not a case of, oh, well, J.K. Rowling's going to scapegoat and say that you're racist if you don't want someone who doesn't look anything like Emma Watson playing this role. It doesn't matter to me if it's actually Emma Watson in the role. It does matter, I guess, to a lot of people that the person look at least a little bit like the original actress. Again, if you chose somebody for the role of Harry Potter who was like, I don't know, from India and simply threw on some glasses and used a red marker to put a scar on their forehead, it wouldn't coincide with what people have come to visualize as being like Harry Potter. It just wouldn't work. It's not. It has nothing to do with accuracy as far as the fiction goes. It has to do with consistency insofar as the visualization itself actually goes. So I'm a little bit annoyed at J.K. Rowling for doing this. I think it's wrong to call a large plurality of the Harry Potter fan base racist for suggesting that you should keep some level of consistency in these movies, specifically because, again, you have already visualized these characters. Your fans have already visualized them as being played by individuals with a certain ethnic composition. The fact that you want to make a more multicultural cast, I guess, doesn't really matter. And I don't care how good the actress is. It wouldn't matter at all. It doesn't matter because that's the way that people have come to visualize the character. That's about all. Peace out.